This is my friend Rick Sapio. I will go on the record to say that there is not one person in my life who has made a bigger impact in my life, business-wise and personally, than my friend Rick Sapio. And that is an unbelievable impact on my life. And you are the reason for it, buddy. And the real reason is because, of course, our friendship, but this program that you created called Business Finishing School that you forced me to take after I pushed back for 2 years. And it was simply the greatest program I've ever been part of. And you know I've been to a bunch of those things. There is no program better than Business Finishing School to figure out what the long play in your life and your business is supposed to be.
If you're not thinking long term, like where am I going to be in 2 generations from now? If you're not doing that, then how do you know what to do today? Right. And by the way, I have to point out, this is a transformed human being. This is like a 60-pound less version of the first man I met. What was that, 7 years ago maybe?
Probably,
or 6 years ago. So thank you for being in my life too, because when you change, you inspire me to change, and I'm 30 pounds lighter. So thank you.
Dude, that's awesome. Come on, man. That's great stuff. So look, you have the Business Finishing School event. You do it twice a year. The next event is coming up in September. Give me the dates again.
September 27th. And by the way, it's our Sweet 16th. So we're calling it the Sweet 16 Business Finishing School. And we decided to pull out all the stops. It's the best lineup of speakers we have ever had.
We would love it if somebody on Instagram and Facebook would be kind enough and put the link to businessfinishingschool.com or bfssummit.com. Whichever you guys prefer. If you guys would be kind enough, businessfinishingschool.com would be great. That'd be very helpful for other people that are on the stream. So businessfinishingschool.com. It happens twice a year, February and September in Dallas. You know that I've been part of it. Not only did I take it, but you and I became partners in it, which also created the single greatest partnership dilution in the history of business, I think.
Yeah, we just sat down one day and I said, Matt, is this working out for you? You said, is this working out for you? If either one of us says no, we just part ways, business-wise.
Yeah. We wrote it on a napkin. That was the end
of it. And then the parting of the ways was written on a napkin. We shook hands, and that was the end of it. I wish divorces could be that easy.
But you've never been divorced.
No, but lawyers make a lot of money by keeping things difficult, if you think about that. I hope there's no lawyers on the line, but that's the truth.
Listen, let's not forget, it's called law school, not business school.
Exactly.
Right?
So anyway, if you're putting up that thing, there's a code B-Day, like the letter B, D-A-Y, all in caps. If you put that promo code in, you get half off. So anyway, let's talk about how Business Finishing School changed your life. And what makes this guy different, everyone, is when Matt finally came, we said, who wants to go all in and dive off a cliff and change their life? And Matt raised his hand and he said, I don't even care what it cost. And the truth is, it wasn't really that expensive to get doubling the profit of your business. But what was it about the program that changed you the most?
I think it's the biggest problem that entrepreneurs have. They have no structure. They really are winging it, right? Which I did for a long, long time. And I think it's important for people to understand. I didn't wing it for like a year. I winged it for 18 years. Look, I went to cooking school, man. I wasn't formally educated in business. I wasn't brought up in a entrepreneurial or business environment at home. In fact, it was a pretty nasty place to be brought up, getting called stupid and idiot and retard every day by people who aren't supposed to call you that, right?
Yeah.
So, I was just looking for a way out, and I thought business was that way, which is exactly what's happening now when people who have good jobs are watching social media and these so-called gurus are telling them they need to be an entrepreneur.
Yep.
Dude, that's a bad trade for most people.
Well, let me summarize what you just said in a question I've been asking for 20 years. I know you're all distracted. You got a lot going on. You've got Netflix over here. You got Facebook over here and Instagram over here. But just hear this question. Just stop. Shh. If you don't have crystal clear clarity of your purpose, of your catalyzing statement, of your primary values, and of your primary objectives in life, if you don't have crystal clear clarity on those things, how the heck can you tell the difference between an opportunity and a massive distraction. You cannot tell the difference. And what this program does, it did it for him, it's done it for me, it's done it for thousands of people, is it gives you total and complete clarity. And with that clarity comes massive peace of mind. And you're no longer chasing bunny rabbits. And this guy right here, when I see him with his kids and with his wife, totally different guy. Completely different. Because he has clarity. And so will you.
Yeah, it's a vital component. Where are you getting your info from, right? What are you learning? What process are you following? And the answer for most small business owners is there isn't any. And there wasn't for me. We were throwing noodles on the ceiling to see what it sticks. Now, where does that impact? It impacts on hiring. It impacts on firing. It impacts on management. It impacts on customer relationships. It impacts on revenue and profitability and all the chaos that I lived with. And you used to say to me when we would have lunch, look at yourself, man. You're sweating through your shirt. And I would say, yeah, I got this. I'm the man in charge. And you would say, dude, let me just give you a different side of it. What would it be if you were able to see your business from 30,000 feet instead of the front line every minute of every day? And you refer to it in Business Finishing School as Superman.
Yep.
And I was Superman.
By the way, one of the things we always say in business finishing school is take your life very seriously, but never yourself. And the first time I met Matt, he was 330 pounds. He's leaning over the table. He's eating everything in sight. and I'm a straight shooter. I called him up. I go, I thought you were going to eat me.
I was you remember it as I was sweating through my shirt. I don't remember sweating through my shirt, but you said you were sweating through your shirt, having dinner, and then you called the guy that introduced us and said, why did you introduce me to this guy? I can't help this guy. This guy's too far gone.
Yep. And all of us are some version of too far gone. But let's bring it back. Let's stop listening to all this insanity. This is about having meaning and passion and purpose and results in your life. That's what this is about. I'm not going to be one of these guru guys yelling and screaming and driving around in a Lamborghini, but I will show you the keys like I did with this man right here. So
I did.
Anyway, you're going to be there speaking.
So I'm going to come to Business Finishing School in September, and I'm going to join everybody for the Lunch and Learn segment. And I'm going to basically tell my testimony of Business Finishing School and what it did to the business, which also did to my life. And it did go in that direction. It didn't fix my life first. It fixed my business. And everybody needs to understand that your business is a reflection of you. And you don't want to believe that. And you're not seeing it as such. The chaos in your business is not being a reflection of yourself. Yeah. You just think it's the problem with the business. No, there's a deeper problem.
100%. So here's something really cool. We've never done this before. It is Sweet 16. One of the most sought-after speakers on planet Earth. There's actually a major motion picture coming out about her life. She will be there. She's a new friend of mine. Her name is Immaculée. I met her 3 years ago when she spoke at, you were there, right?
At GOT.
At Gathering of Titans at MIT in Boston. Her name is Immaculée. And she is one of the survivors of the Rwandan massacre. Every single member of her family, 42 people, were macheted to death. And the only thing that she could think about was, how do I forgive the killers? Because I don't want to live with that pain. And her message translates into business. And he was there when she spoke to an only CEO crowd in an incredible environment of relieving ourselves of these things that are holding us back. So that's Immaculée. We've got Ivan Meisner. He went from one employee and one client to 250,000 paying customers in Business Network International, BNI. We got Pat Gentempo zooming in from New Zealand. He's going to be speaking. We've got Jared Yellen, who's got this really cool marketing program. Here's a really cool story. Susie Souza, I invested in her company 2 years ago. She's got this incredible business. Her clients are 3 of the 4 best companies on planet Earth: Google, Facebook, Whole Foods, which was purchased by Amazon, so Amazon by default, Chanel. I mean, this woman has built this juggernaut. I've been advising her, and it's insane. She has a competitor that just recently got purchased for a small sum of $1.6 billion. So this is about starting here and going here and having this. And red sneakers over there, Z. So what do we want to say? It's September 27th. Get your butt to Dallas, Texas. It's at a beautiful conference hotel, so it's right near DFW. It's very easy to get to and get out of. I forgot about Jim Shields. I'm looking at the list here. We've got
Jim's one of my favorites on the list. I mean, Jim's book is called 18 Summers. Talks about his argument in the book is you have 18 summers with your children. What are you doing with them? Because they go by like that. I really love the way Jim talks about how to reconnect with your family. And I think it's also something that happens with Business Finishing School. It's clearly a business program, but if you get it right, so many other things get fixed.
Can you, by the way, just do it very briefly because I'm so excited about this. I don't know if people know this guy 6 or 7 years ago when we met. It's hard for me to imagine him being the dad that he's become. And what happened with your son recently?
Yeah,
share that news. He's so humble about it.
My oldest son, Johnny Boy, committed to attend and play lacrosse at the United States Military Academy at West Point. And it's hard to imagine. What's really fascinating about that is, though, it wasn't, and there's no luck getting into West Point.
Look, he's tearing up. This is massive. West Point. Think about that. This guy, the minute he said yes to West Point, his life was forever changed. He's going to be a gentleman. He's going to be busting his ass for 4 years.
He's going to love it. He's the type of kid that will love every bit of it. But the thing that's amazing in this accomplishment for him, though, Rick, is that there were so many ups and downs through this process, and we had some people that just came out of the woodwork to help us, that didn't really know John, but saw something in him and reached out and tried to help him and make sure that he got noticed. And I think the biggest takeaway is that this kid's hard work and humility got noticed. And I think that's the thing that makes our family so proud for our son.
I am not taking any credit, zero, so don't take this as that. But when this kid 2 years ago sat in the Business Finishing School boot camp, which, by the way, every 18-year-old in America should be sitting in, and he told his dad, I listened to that, and guess what? My life is overwhelming. I got too much on my plate, Dad. And I made him get up in front of the room and explain how overwhelming it was to be 16 and have all the pressure, all this stuff going on, the school, the girlfriends, the car, the studies, the homework, the blah, 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 and then the social media. And I think that the principals in BFS helped him dial all that back. Is that an accurate statement? Or
yeah, no? I think it goes even further than that. People need to understand that the chaos that we all live in, by removing it, it doesn't take you backwards. It actually can catapult you forward through the clarity that it gives. I mean, John was also this week named captain of his football team. So John won by doing less. And that some people just can't understand what that means. It's not being less productive. It's less distraction, highly focused, visualize goals, and taking massive action to get in that movement. And it's because of less that you can actually do more.
You know what successful people don't have, like Johnny and like you? They don't have reasons and excuses for not doing things. So cut the reasons and excuses out. Come to the event. There's been massive movement of the people that have been through this program. If you align with the things that we're talking about, things like hard work and purpose and passion and results and family, get your butt to the Business Finishing School 16th Summit. Go to businessfinishingschool.com. That's funny. He's got a call coming in.
Come and hit delete on that.
Hit delete on the front right there.
Yeah.
businessfinishingschool.com. You'll see live event there. Write down B-Day, capital B, capital D, capital A, capital Y, and you'll get $400 off your ticket.
It's a huge discount.
Yeah. Well,
but by the way, I'm just one of hundreds and hundreds of success stories through Business Finishing School, and people come back year after year after year, and they will tell their story and help anybody along the course, which is the most amazing thing in the audience too. Is you're going to sit with people who took the principles of Business Finishing School, put them into play, and got incredible results. I mean, I love the always the story of Dr. Kalani, right? I mean, Dr. Kalani, super busy, chaotic guy, and now enjoys life in Hawaii with his children and
On the beach.
on the beach and at his plantation and stuff.
On the way here, I was talking to Jason. Jason, if you're listening, thank you so much for the inspiration. He was just telling me how much his practice has changed. I'm speaking to Jason Wasser and how his life's changed, and he's just so passionate about the program. Just on the way here, he happened to call me, and it was great. So I'm going to be on his podcast. I don't do a lot of podcasts, but hell, if you want me on your podcast, give me a shout.
It's the thing that people in business have to understand. It doesn't have to be as difficult as we've made it. There actually is a roadmap and a system that can help you with it. And if you just trust it and you follow it and you give it a little bit of time, it miraculously changes. I mean, what goes on in this office today, Rick, compared to what was going on in this office 4 or 5 years ago, it's a completely different place.
It's like it's more profit with way less chaos.
And much more empowerment to the team. You have people who understand why they're here. They've signed up for something, and they're choosing to execute on that every day. And it's just a different world. And none of that would have occurred if it wasn't for Business Finishing.
Well, I want to thank you for that. That's awesome. You know what I have right now? This is really cool. I have the writer. I'm working with a writer on a new book. We've got an hour and a half. I download to him an hour and a half once a week, and we're writing a book together. And I got to get on that call right now.
But the book is called, no, it's important. The book is called The 100-Year Plan.
The 100-Year Mindset.
Yeah.
If you're not thinking out 100 years, how do you know what to do today? That long-term thinking gets you to think about what's happening today. And I'll tell you, it allows me to, force the issue with my kids. What are you doing right now? Is that going to help you in 100 years? And they're like, no. It informs who you hang out with, what you read, everything you do on a daily basis, how you eat. So for those that have seen me, I don't know if you saw.
Eat? Yeah.
Somebody, Jason, thank you for bringing this up, because I saw your Amazon Prime TV show. It's called The Curious Entrepreneur, and my face is this wide. And that was a year ago. So go on Amazon Prime and put in The Curious Entrepreneur. It's a cool Amazon Prime TV show. Come to the event, and that's it. That's why we're here.
Yep. Be there, Business Finishing School. Give me the dates one more time, September
27th is a Friday in Dallas, Texas. It goes till Sunday morning.
Go to bfssummit.com, put in the code B-Day, and you'll save $400. It'll cost you $399, which is a $400 savings. Okay, we'll see y'all soon. Thanks, everybody.